We're still following rain from Debbie. The center of the storm is still moving across North Carolina. Some showers today, but we're not likely to have as many tornadoes as we did yesterday. We'll walk through the timeline for rain for today coming up.
Also new this morning, Debbie is now responsible for 2 deaths in North Carolina. What we know about a woman who died in Rockingham County during the storm.
And the rain may be moving out today, but the risk of river flooding is a major concern this morning, especially close to the Lumber River. What to expect in those areas today. We got significant amounts of rain for Debbie, and we will keep feeling those impacts. Good morning, everyone. It is 4:30, excuse me, not to jump ahead an hour. I'm Renee Chu.
I'm Jeff Hogan. Yeah, great to have you along here on Friday. Thanks for making us part of your day early on. Much different day than yesterday, thankfully. Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Not quite done with some of the rain in the area, though.
And we're still watching the center of the storm moving across North Carolina right now, but it's not going to be nearly the day that we saw yesterday. We could see just some scattered showers that produce some heavy rain, some lightning, that sort of thing. But we're not likely to have the number of tornadoes that we did yesterday. We do have some showers this morning that we're dealing with here in Wake County. Holly Springs, Apex, Raleigh, Fuquay, Varina, stretching up toward Durham. We're seeing some scattered showers. No lightning with this right now. We do have a flood watch that does continue along and east of I-95, so that's not for very much of our viewing area, and that would be a flash flooding watch. So not likely to see as much of that, but as we mentioned just a minute ago, it's going to be the river flooding that we start to get more concerned about today and into the weekend. Here's a look at futurecast for us this morning as we roll through the precipitation that we'll see. It'll be mainly just scattered this morning, so the morning commute may be a little messy just because it's pretty wet out there from rain last night. Here's lunchtime and into the afternoon, a few isolated showers and storms, but we may actually see a little bit of sunshine before the day ends today. Maybe closer to sunset, but we may see it. It's a 50% chance this morning, and then we drop it down to about a 30% chance later on this afternoon. But boy, you still need to watch out for the roads this morning. We may still have a lot of high water in places. All those circles that have the houses on them there are all where we had flood reports. Some of those flooding situations have diminished, but not all of them. The rain is coming down out there in places. In Apex, you can see how wet it is right now, but it's not raining like that everywhere. It's warm and sticky, 75 with a dew point of 72 as you're stepping out the door. And our temperatures remain cool today because we'll see clouds for much of the day and some scattered showers and thunderstorms. To help keep you safe out there this morning, we have Kelsey Coffey in the Storm Tracker taking a look at conditions as you're traveling around. Kelsey, I know it's dark out there right now, but how's it looking?
Elizabeth, you talked about it being a messy morning commute, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now. We'll show you a live look at road conditions on 40 West. We are on our way to Durham as there's been reports of a tree down on some power lines. You can see those windshield wipers really going this morning. You may even be able to hear the rain coming down on the storm tracker. So we'll be monitoring road conditions, and we'll keep you posted on what's going on in Durham. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Wake County.
Today, people across the state will be cleaning up in the aftermath of Debbie. The storm brought 29 tornado warnings to our state yesterday. 6 confirmed tornadoes touched down. New this morning, at least 2 deaths are being blamed on the storm, one in Wilson County, the other in Rockingham County. And this morning at 11, Governor Roy Cooper will provide an update on recovery efforts. You can watch that live at 11 on WRAL News Plus. Also new this morning, Durham Schools joins the list of school systems that will be closed today. That was announced around 11:30 last night. Wake County schools will be opening 2 hours late today, but they'll have school. Many other schools are closed, delayed, or going asynchronous. You'll find a full list on our website and scrolling at the bottom of your screen. The worst damage was in Wilson County. Drone video shows the home that collapsed, killing 60-year-old Brian Barnes. This happened on Lloyd Road in Lucama. We know 10 other homes were damaged in that area as well. And just down the street from that, the roof of a middle school was torn off during the storm. This is Springfield Middle School. And according to Wilson County Schools, the damage mainly affected the 6th grade and 7th grade hallways. Thankfully, no students nor staff were in the building.
Also, Renee, around 11:30 last night, we learned a woman was killed in Rockingham County when a tree fell on her mobile home. This happened near Brown Summit, northeast of Greensboro. Officials say the 78-year-old woman was in the home's bathroom when the tree fell. We're working to learn her name.
8 of the 29 tornado warnings Debbie produced Thursday were in Franklin County. These photos were taken in Epsom in the surrounding area. You could see trees fallen on power lines and trees with limbs snapped in half. The National Weather Service says at least 2 tornadoes touched down in or near Franklin County yesterday.
The Lumber River continues to rise this morning. Robeson County is already experiencing flooding on several streets, forcing closures there. Emergency officials say crews have rescue boats on standby if that flooding reaches extreme levels. The Lumberton levee system has been reinforced to handle this rain.
Debbie left the Triangle with widespread power outages, flooded roads, and rushing creeks. Emergency crews rescued 3 children who went into fast-moving Marsh Creek while out on a bike ride. Responders say the lesson is to be aware and use extreme caution when waters are rising. Swells from Crabtree Creek spilled into a parking lot near Glenwood Avenue. Crews worked to remove partially submerged cars and get them to higher ground. We saw some people running on the Crabtree Creek Greenway despite the high water.
Whenever there's a hurricane or big tropical storm, it's always up to here. I can see it from my house. I went that way and it was a full foot of water, so I had to turn around.
The Wake County Sheriff's Office responded to damage from Debbie and other towns, including a tree blocking a road in Garner and a downed power line in Wendell.
Breaking news this morning, Cary police are investigating a shots fired call right now. Nick Perlin is on the scene in the WRAL breaking news tracker. And Nick, we know a man was injured. Officers say it's not clear right now if he was shot, though.
Hey, Jeff, that's the question we're still trying to get answered right now. Cary police are still here trying to get more information, and I'm going to step behind the camera and show you a little bit more. And as I zoom in here, not only are you going to see some crime scene tape, but this second level here of this complex, this is where we've seen officers continue their search. I also saw canines out here as they try to figure out a little bit more about what happened here. Again, this is in Cary. This is on... This is in Cary. This is at an apartment complex on Dahlia Place. So still a lot more questions we're trying to get answered here. Mainly, like Jeff said, what happened to that person who was taken to the hospital? I'll be on the scene, and any new information I get, I'll be sure to update you. Live in Cary, Nick Perlin, WRAL News.
Also new this morning, 3 people, including a child, are in the hospital after a crash on Falls of Noose Road in Raleigh. This happened just after 8:30 last night. Police say the crash involved 2 cars. It's unclear right now exactly what caused the wreck.
Today, we'll learn who will become UNC Chapel Hill's new chancellor. UNC System President Peter Hans and the Board of Governors will meet this morning at 10 to select a new chancellor. Former UNC Chancellor Kevin Guskowitz left for Michigan State in January. Lee Roberts is the school's interim chancellor. The original goal was to name a new leader by the end of the year. That timeline has been sped up by more than 4 months. Team USA has more chances today to increase its medal count. That includes a diver from UNC who's competing in a final this morning. UNC's Aranza Vasquez Montano will have a chance for gold in the 3-meter springboard final at 9 on WRAL. At 11:30, the U.S. plays Australia in the women's basketball semifinals. We'll have track and field coverage at 1:30, including the finals of the men's and women's 4x100. And at 4:30, it's the finals of women's beach volleyball, Brazil against Canada. You can catch replays of all the big events on Primetime in Paris starting at 8 tonight.
Coming up on 20 minutes before 5, a terror plot was stopped in Vienna. It targeted a Taylor Swift concert, how her fans hit the streets to support one another.
And new concerns about ChatGPT and how much people rely on it. Why researchers say too much time using the tool could lead to an emotional dependence.
And we'll give you a live look right now. Storm Tracker is out, checking out the roads for us. This is I-40 westbound in Raleigh. You can see rain falling in that area. Maybe it is in yours as well, as we monitor the remnants of Tropical Storm Debbie all across our state this morning. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner has the latest on that and the weekend forecast.
From From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
4:43, waking up to some showers this morning, but nothing, of course, like what we saw yesterday. We will have the potential for some scattered thunderstorms through the afternoon. And even as we get into parts of the weekend, we're not going to completely clear out. The heaviest rain that we're seeing right now is in southern central Wake County. We'll see a 50% chance of rain this morning, and then it tapers back to around 30%. There's still going to be some wet conditions out there this morning. We have Kelsey Coffey that's out there in the storm tracker this morning showing you where the roads are really messy. And you can see here at Fenton and Cary a good bit of water on the camera lens there. Looking at temperatures in the mid-70s, walking the dogs this morning, you're probably going to run into a lot of puddles out there on your walk. This afternoon, our temperatures will be in the mid-80s, and there could be a few isolated thunderstorms. We'll look in detail about the rain potential for this afternoon, as well as the weekend coming up, and a look at some of the river flooding that we'll be dealing with this weekend, too.
Good morning, Chris Levingood here in the WRAL Live Center. Around noon, I stood in this very spot and I was telling you about roughly more than 120,000 customers without power in North Carolina. Look at this update here. We're talking about Duke Energy reporting 24,000 customers without power. So, a more than 100,000 customer difference, which is good. Let's look at where we're talking about this morning. So if we zoom in on the map here, we'll see a lot of these are little pockets that are near Hillsborough up here. We've got a 1,000 customer pocket there in Durham, and looks like a 2,000 pocket there south of Chapel Hill. So something to keep in mind as well. I want to pull up just one more map here, this poweroutage.us map, and it's kind of reporting around the same number, around 24,000 customers. So we have seen a significant improvement over the last 24 hours.
Crews will be working to fix this road in Fayetteville after a large section of it washed out because the dam collapsed. Right there you see it. You're looking at Sipple Avenue. Video from Drone 5 shows that scene and the crews assessing that scene and clearing the debris out. Officials tell us there are no impacts to water and sewage lines, thankfully.
Parts of Bladenboro, east of Lumberton, experienced extreme flooding as a result of Debbie. Emergency crews went door to door to warn people about rising water. Officials say the town was barricaded from the rest of the county. They were reporting that some areas had standing water up to 2 to 3 feet.
It's heart-wrenching. We've been through a lot here in Bladenboro with flooding, and we've done a lot to try to help alleviate it. But when we get this much water, it basically just the swamps and the rivers back up on us, and there's really not a whole lot we can do.
Blaine County Emergency Services issued a voluntary evacuation around 3 this morning.
Investigators in Austria say an alert from a U.S. intelligence agency led to the arrest of a man who they say was planning a terrorist attack at a Taylor Swift concert in Vienna. A 19-year-old has been arrested in connection with that plot. Investigators say he was ready to kill himself and a large number of people using knives and explosives. A 17-year-old, who officials say is an accomplice, was also arrested. They say he had recently taken a job providing services for the concert venue where Swift was set to play. A 15-year-old is also being questioned.
Disappointed fans who won't get to see Taylor Swift perform did the next best thing. They took to the streets to sing her songs together. Swifties shared videos on social media showing them singing their favorite songs of Swift's. Her team assured fans that all tickets will be refunded. The singer hasn't made any public statements about the situation as of this morning.
OpenAI says it is worried humans may start depending on artificial intelligence for companionship. The research organization raised the concern in a ChatGPT safety review report. It says the human-sounding voice on ChatGPT is so realistic, some people may develop relationships with it. The advanced voice mode responds in real time and can determine a person's emotional state by voice tone. Researchers say they've already observed people expressing a shared bond with the tool. So it gets even creepier.
Very creepy. Well, during severe weather, do not rely on ChatGPT. We have an impressive meteorology team here at WRAL keeping you safe, including you, Elizabeth, and still tracking the remnants of Debbie.
Oh, what a day it was yesterday. It was my pleasure to be here with Anthony and Chris, and then Amy and the Storm Tracker yesterday. It was a great team to work with here, and thankful for everyone here. Unfortunately, it was a rough day, though, for a lot of you out there. What we're we're dealing with this morning is we right now have the heaviest rain right here in Wake County. Some scattered showers stretching up through Durham, but from, say, Holly Springs and Apex over toward Garner and Raleigh, this is going to be a quick shower moving through. We don't have any lightning with this, so just another round of rain that we have to deal with. Just a quick recap of what we ended up seeing yesterday. All of these polygons in red are where the tornado warnings were. So you can see it was heavily focused there along the I-95 corridor. We did have 5 confirmed tornadoes, 24 warnings. One of those warnings was in Wayne County. We had 1 in Wilson County, 1 in Nash County, and 2 in Franklin County. And so those were the actual tornadoes that touched down, some of those doing some pretty significant damage. Here's a look at our current situation. The remnants of Debbie will be moving up through Virginia and West Virginia as we get through the day today and heading north. And boy, you know, it seems like lately we've heard a lot about these systems moving through and creating a lot of flooding in parts of the Northeast, like Vermont. And so those folks may be in for some troubles today. Most of the showers and thunderstorms start to push to the coast as our cold front sweeps through. But then watch what happens. The front's going to stall over us on Saturday, and that may continue to keep some showers and thunderstorms in our area. We'll move it on ahead and take a look at what's happening out there in terms, if I can get my clicker to move this on forward. We're going to go to a closer view and talk a little bit about the winds too. We're seeing some gusty winds this morning. Winds will be gusting, say 25 to 30, not enough to cause any additional power outages, but we'll see some showers and thunderstorms here, and those will continue to slide on off to the east as we get through the day today. You can see there's early this morning, we take it on out to lunchtime, and then to this evening, still just a few scattered showers and thunderstorms to have to deal with. And so we'll be watching out for that certainly as we get through the day. So rain's not going to be as heavy. We still have some flood warnings that are out there, especially for rivers. And so we have a lot of that we'll end up having to deal with for the next several days, as a matter of fact. And so we're going to go over the river flood warnings coming up in just a little bit. It is still a WRAL weather alert day because of that potential for some river flooding. And it looks like it's going to be a hot day for tomorrow, a high of 91. But once we get into next week, our temperatures are much more tolerable, back into the 80s.
Looking forward to that. Samsung has issued a massive recall for stoves after videos of dogs accidentally causing a house fire were posted to social media. The solution for people who own these particular stoves.
Also, Michelle Pfeiffer is joining the world of Yellowstone, the new spinoff she will now be part of.
For any of you dealing with storm damage, knowing a few basics can prevent you from making a costly mistake. Michelle McConaughey has the critical steps you should take if you're dealing with a downed tree.
First things first, make sure everyone is safe and that dangerous weather has passed before getting out to see how bad things are. Contact your insurance company first, take pictures of any damage before you make any repairs, and save receipts for anything you buy to make temporary repairs. If a tree falls, there are a lot of factors in determining who is responsible for cleanup and damage. If your tree hits your house, insurance covers a certain amount for it to be removed. But if a tree falls in your yard without hitting anything, you are on the hook. If a neighbor's tree lands on your house, your insurance covers it and vice versa. But if the tree was dead or dying, the owner of the tree is responsible. Michelle McConaughey, 5 on your side.
Be careful with contractors who show up unannounced, offering their help after a storm. Don't have permanent repairs done until your insurance company has inspected your property and you have an agreement on the cost of repairs.
Samsung is recalling knobs on some of its electric stoves, warning that fires can be set off if pets or even humans just bump into them. Several videos like this one have shown pets accidentally igniting fires from jumping onto stoves and pawing at those knobs. The recall affects over 1 million stoves. Samsung will provide free knob locks or covers for certain slide-in electric ranges with front-mounted knobs that were sold between 2013 and 2024.
Something to make you smile this morning. 2 giant pandas made their first public appearance at the San Diego Zoo. The pandas, named Yunchuan and Xingbao, arrived from China earlier this summer. They were sent to the U.S. as a sign of friendship and are the first giant pandas to enter the country in 2 decades. The 2 are now enjoying a newly refurbished and expanded habitat. China is expected to loan pandas to other zoos in the U.S., including the National Zoo in Washington, D.C. There weren't a lot of highlights for the Carolina Panthers in their first preseason game, as many of their starters sat out. We did get a chance to see former UNC quarterback Drake May in his debut with the New England Patriots. He played one series before taking the rest of the night off. The Patriots won the game 17-3. The Panthers' next preseason game will be next Saturday when they host the New York Jets at Bank of America Stadium.
Michelle Pfeiffer is headed to the small screen. The actress will star in and be the executive producer for Madison. It's a spin-off of Yellowstone. The series will follow a New York City family who moves to central Montana. A release date for the series has not been announced, but Yellowstone is scheduled to return November 10th.
Here's a live look at North Hills this morning, and you can see it's raining pretty hard right now in Raleigh. Debbie is weakening this morning, but chances for flooding remain. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner will join us in 2 minutes with a look at which areas are still feeling the effects.
Also new this morning, we have learned another person died as a result of the storm, bringing the total deaths up to 2 in our state. Damage to a mobile home after a tree fell on top of it.
And Team USA men's basketball is moving on to the Olympic finals, but it was a close call during their game with Serbia. A true nail-biter. Who they will play tomorrow for a chance to win a gold medal.